Or they try to.
Welcome back, everybody, to this segment of the Pittsburgh Business Virgin. We are joined by Kevin Hickey, Vice President of OnlineStores. Kevin, talk to us right now about some of the mistakes that have come about in your business. I know starting up your own business, it is a trial and error, and we've had the opportunity to talk about some of these things just in our break there. Talk to us about some of the mistakes and what were some of the learnings from those mistakes.
Sure. Well, several years ago, we were feeling pretty confident that everything that we did was going to be successful. We'd been successful with the flag store. We'd been successful with the tea store. We'd been successful with our safety equipment store. And we found what we thought was an opportunity in selling strollers. And we were fortunate we managed to pick up the domain name stroller.com pretty cheaply. So we thought we've got a great domain name and there's other people doing it, but that doesn't mean that we can't be successful. So we started selling strollers, and we did manage to get quite a good level of sales going. But as time progressed, we realized that we were probably losing money on every stroller that we sold because we're competing with a lot of very big companies like Amazon and Walmart and a whole bunch of other more specialist retailers. And they were competing with each other very aggressively and offering a lot of different free shipping. And there were some returns coming back, and we were having to do free shipping on the returns too. Mm-hmm. And because we were operating out of a single location based in New Stanton, Pennsylvania, everything was coming back to us from the whole country, whereas the bigger retailers like Amazon, for example, are operating out of multiple different distribution centers.
They can control the distribution costs.
Mm-hmm. They've got a lot more leverage and a lot more ability to be able to drive down the cost of the shipping and also get better deals from the vendors, and they've got more finance available to them, so that they've got a lot of advantages that we didn't have. So over a period of time, we began to realize that we were probably never going to be successful in that market, and it was probably a mistake getting into that market. So we had to sell that site, and kind of taught us the lesson that you've really got to think through the logic of why you're doing what you're doing, and not just assume that you're going to be successful, and think through who your competition is going to be and what advantage or disadvantages you're going to have relative to them. So having done all of that, we certainly have learnt our lesson, and we've got a much longer checklist of different things that we go through before we decide to get into a market. And we really sit down and make sure that we've got a much stronger business case for getting into things, rather than just kind of assuming that we're going to be successful, which we kind of lulled ourselves into that a few years ago, because we had a series of successes. Just because you have some success, you've got to figure out why you're being successful in those situations, and what are you doing right, and you've got to sit down and really strategize about how you kind of roll out that business model into other areas.
Endeavors, yeah. Mm-hmm. Let's shift gears. So we talked about what were some of your biggest mistakes and actually hurt the ability to grow. Let's shift gears and go to the opposite, and let's talk about growth. You've had just phenomenal growth over the last 12 years, and we've had recessions, we've had good markets, bad markets, and everything else. When you think about the growth that you've had and the success you've had, what are the biggest contributing factors to that?
Well, even in a bad market, there's always somebody that's doing well. And for example, our biggest growth story over the last few years has been in construction, clothing, and boots, and the construction market is really in a pretty bad way. But that doesn't mean that you haven't got an opportunity there. Mm-hmm. So, for example, when the economy is down, people aren't making quite so much money as they normally do. what we found is that they become very much more price sensitive, and they're really looking for a better deal, better quality, better value. So they're trying to make their dollars go further, and that's really why that store has been successful, because we're using the online model. We've been able to offer very, very competitive pricing. We've been able to introduce some of our own products like our work boots, which are pretty much identical to the Wolverines and the Timberlands, but they're selling at half the price. So once that story gets out there and people are starting to see that product and say, hey, I bought this boot and I only paid $40 or $50 for it, and you paid $100 for yours and mine are just as good. That gets you more business, and so that's really been one of the driving factors that's really helped us to grow in a down economy, that we've been able to provide a better value proposition than a lot of other retailers out there by being a very efficient online retailer.
How do you guys market?
We primarily market online using keyword advertising. So when you're searching for a product that we sell, like flags or work boots, we try and get our website to come up, and we also do the paid advertising using Google. We're pretty expert at doing that. We get a very good return for our advertising dollar. Another very powerful marketing opportunity for us has really been sort of referrals and repeat business. So if we do a very good job for people, we found that we get a lot of referral type business, repeat business, which really just comes back, and so the new customers are coming in from the advertising, but then we've got the repeat business and the sort of referral business coming in, and that's all combined really to help us.
How do you track that referral business?
That's pretty hard to track.
Yeah, I was about to say, it's very easy to track when you're in a service business like we are, where you can think back to when you met clients or what clients referred what clients, but in the online world, I got to think that's difficult, huh?
Yeah, it's hard to track it, but
although I get a sense, like I notice I have DirecTV. I notice that if you refer someone and they write down your name or something when they sign up, I guess you get $100 towards your monthly bill. Is that right? Yeah. Bud off behind the camera. Yes. Mr. Tech is. I always ask him on this stuff. So that's potentially something,
Yeah, we haven't tried a program exactly like that, but the way that we can track it is we can see what's coming in from the advertising, and we can see what's coming in from search engines, and we can just see stuff that's coming in directly to our website, and that's a pretty sizable chunk of our traffic, and our revenue is coming from the people that are coming straight into our website, and that's really repeat business and referrals that are coming in through that channel.
Neat. Any other thoughts around growth? How do you handle? In the last last 30 seconds, 40 seconds. When you've grown as quickly, and you were talking earlier about, going through buildings and and having to expand how do you balance that with, we were talking off air, wife, kids?
Well, I've tried very hard to have time with my family. And I think, again, it comes back to having a very good team of people working for you that, if you try and do everything yourself, you're never going to have any time for any kind of social life. So have a very good team of people that are working for you, and kind of cherry pick the stuff that you need to get involved in. Identify time that you want to spend with your family and with your kids, and don't allow work to kind of intrude on that time. So, I cook breakfast for my kids in the morning.
I do the same thing.
And, and I try and be there every dinner time. And when they go to bed, sometimes I do, a couple of hours work on my computer while they're sleeping. And, I still get a good 40 or 50 hours of work in a week, which I think, more than that is probably too much. And, less than that,
you better hire someone. Good stuff. Thank you very much for coming down. Unbelievable success story. OnlineStores, 12 years in the making, $30 million in revenue, 6 years, one of the top growing companies in the Pittsburgh region. They run out of New Stanton, Pennsylvania. It sounds like you're continuing to expand. I know we're in a market of high unemployment, people looking for jobs. My guess is sending you a resume, and if you need down
Sure.
the road some great people, I'm sure you're always looking for it.
Yeah, we're pretty much always hiring. We always looking for people. So
This is the secret for us as a economy to get back to where we used to be, and that is supporting companies like Kevin's, Three Rivers Wealth Management Group, companies that small businesses are the engine to this country and to this economy, and here's a guy that has over 100 people working for him. So awesome story. Once again, subscribe to Pittsburgh Business Virgin on iTunes. Check out Pittsburgh Business Virgin website. Definitely check out OnlineStores. You can get your honey those pink boots that she's always wanted. And other than that, thank you, Kevin. Thank you, Josh. Awesome stuff. And check out Pittsburgh Business Virgin website, and also check out Three Rivers Wealth Management Group. Thank you so much, Kevin.
thank you.
Thank you for watching.